91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. They don't stay long. A track that Craig Dreyer sent me. And let's get Craig on the phone so we can talk more about what we just heard and what we're going to hear and all that great stuff. So let's do this. Craig, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
That's a good thing. That's always a really good way to start out a show is when I don't disconnect somebody. So
Great.
Thank you. So Craig Dreyer, you're like a killer saxophone player. You play the Hammond B3, do vocals, you do keys, and you also are owner and operator of your very own recording studio called Mighty Toad Recording Studio, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, cool. Go ahead. I saw you, just a little bit of a background for anybody that may be listening. I have seen you for years playing at the Falcon. I know you play all over the city. You're based down there, but I see you typically with Scott Sherrard, maybe other people as well. And I've always been like blown away by your talent. And
Oh, that's sweet.
no, you really are. You are the real deal, and it's just such an honor to finally have you on the show. And thanks so much for your time and being here. Talk to me a little bit, if you would, like your start with music. What was your first instrument? What were you listening to as a kid? What were you doing?
Oh, it's I've played saxophone since I was a kid. There's an echo. I don't know if you hear that. It's so strange.
Are we on speaker?
I think I could deal.
Do you have me on speaker?
No, I'm not. But anyway, I could deal with it. It's just a little delay, a little slapback for my own voice. But I started playing saxophone about 8 years old in like school. And I don't know, what was I listening to as a kid? I don't know.
Where'd you go to school? You grew up in New York, right?
Yeah. I went to this kind of progressive school called Walden, which was a private school. It was like on the Upper West Side, and it was really an interesting place. It was very small, and like we called teachers by their first names, and we sat in a circle, and we it was like, it was kind of a hippie school, very left wing, going to protest marches for school trips and things like that,
wow.
Reading Chomsky and Zinn and, this kind of thing.
Wow.
But, I played music and we had a band there. And like once we backed up Shaka Khan, actually, her daughter went to the school. We once backed up Shaka Khan when we were about 12 years old, which was hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you know who she was at the time?
Yeah, we knew who she was. Yeah. Our teacher was this guy named, I can't pronounce his name anymore. He's changed it from what we used to call him John back then, but it's like Johanna now,
Mm-hmm.
And he convinced her to come in and play. We played all blues and Night in Tunisia with her, and she was so funny. She was winking at us and making jokes with us, and we all fell in complete love with her. Like we all were just like, we love you. She was so charismatic, and we were like 12, and there was a little school fair on 88th Street in front of the school. So,
oh my God! Wow, what a treat to be at 12 years old and be like, what? Yeah, Shaka Khan's coming to my school today.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Wow. Now, did you take lessons, saxophone lessons?
I didn't take too many lessons. I did take a few from a guy named John Stubblefield. I took 2 lessons. And then there was a guy, Charlie Haynes, who I took a couple lessons with. John Stubblefield told me to hold my hand a certain way, called it the claw. And he said a thing to me I'll never forget. He said something about, like, roughly mastery of a wind instrument is to be able to play at any note in any dynamic, perfectly in tune.
Huh.
And then he told me to hold my hand like a claw. Don't have the fingers rounded so you can play faster in the end. If you play flat, your fingers flat, you end up being slower and not as accurate. So I remember that's all I remember. But on the other hand, he stuck the Charlie Parker Omni book in front of my face, and I didn't know how to read anything at that point, really. So it was way too hard. He freaked me out.
Right.
I couldn't play Bloom Dido by Charlie Parker, and so he kind of scared the crap out of me.
Right.
So, but I learned it later. I played, rock and roll and blues, and I started playing bars. We had our first bar gig around that time, at 12 years old, 1980, we got a gig at the place in Nyack called The Office, opening for a band called Finn and the Sharks, and I believe they're still around.
Wow.
And
wow.
yeah, and it's because they thought we were some far out kids. They saw us at this little party, and they thought we were far out and gave us a gig in a bar. But by like 16, I was playing gigs in rock bands, and then started getting to and then about I'd say about 18, 19, I was walking down the street. I actually played on a record in the studio on the Lower East Side in this band called Conch, which was they had a deal. They were like Puerto Rican, Spanish dance music. They had a song in a movie, and it was on 4th and Broadway. So I remember played on a track for them, and then me and the trumpet player were walking around doing the Lower East, what you do in the Lower East Side in 1987 or 88, and we stumbled into a club called the Chameleon, and there was this dude named Moose Bolet who just passed away, and playing, I sat in somehow, and he said, "All right, motherfucker, you're on the." Oh, sorry, he said, "You're on the gig every Tuesday night. We start at midnight."
Oh my God!
And then I showed up the next week, and check out who the band was. It was Moose on bass and Popsy Dixon from the Holmes Brothers. You remember them?
Yeah,
the Holmes Brothers?
Yeah, of course.
And Bill Sims on guitar, and me. And so then I got into the playing blues.
And wait, you're how old at this time?
I was about 19 or.
Wow.
Bill and those guys were about, maybe they were 40 then, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's how I got into the blues scene in New York, because they liked how I played, and I got into playing with these older guys,
Man.
Bill, and guys like Irving Lewis Latin. You know this guy?
No, I don't. Tell me.
Irving Lewis Latin has the greatest voice. I mean, he sounds like Lou Rawls, this guy. I mean, he's originally a Chicago blues man, but he moved to New York, and he's still around. He's kind of retired now, but he had the deepest voice. When he called me up and he called me up to get on a gig the first time, he's like, "This Craig Dreyer on the phone?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "This is Irving Lewis Latin. Are you free to play September 12th at Dan Lynch's?" And I was like, "What?" I used to go see him play, and it was like someone called me to play Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
Irv would call me because he sang like Lou Rawls. I mean, he's a great singer.
Wow.
So so some of those guys, and Bill Sims. If people don't know, check out. You can look up Bill. He was a great blues man. He did a thing called the Heritage Blues Orchestra, which he got some play, and then he did Bill also did. There was a documentary about his marriage and his wife.
Yeah. I heard about this. Do you know the name of that? I forgot.
American Love Story or something.
There you go. Okay.
So we did some great work for Bill for many years, and people like Brian Mitchell you were talking about, we played with Bill.
Yeah. Good old Brian. He's from New York also, and now, of course, Woodstocker, but you guys go way back.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Amazing. And I also want to mention, you know who else I've had on this show before, and I've like admired him and miss him, Clark. Your buddy Clark.
Oh, Clark, yeah. Oh man, we're talking with Clark. Yeah, Clark is not well now. He can't play. But we played his last gig. So what happened was we were at the City Winery with El Dorado Slim. He was the trombone player. It was before. Now, when you saw us last, we had Reggie Pittman on trumpet.
Right.
But before Reggie, it was Clark. It was me and Clark on horns.
Yeah.
And we played Clark's last gig on a Wednesday, and we had another gig on Friday. And we played. I mean, I have a picture of Clark and Tony Leone sitting there. I took a snapshot because Clark was looking good, and he looked like he was feeling good. Looked like he lost a couple of lbs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then on Friday we had another gig, and he was supposed to meet me at the studio. And Clark is always early. Like, so if we're leaving at 1, I get a call at 12:30 and say, "Yo, Craig, I'm by the studio." And I'd be like, "Dude, I'm not there yet. I ain't early." And he'd be like, "All right, I'll grab a coffee." And it'd be like this for years, always early. And there was no call from Clark. And it was really weird. We played the gig without him, and it turned out, he had a stroke. So he's hopefully trying to get on the mend. and let's just pray for him. He's one of the best trombone players on the planet.
Absolutely, and so heartbreaking,
Yeah,
to what's happened to
yeah,
him. Yeah, no, what a
yeah.
tuba player, and just toured with everybody. I got to tell you, Brian tells me this too. You got to hear the interview that he and I did. I'm gonna text it to you later. Um,
All right.
because Brian's even like, I heard stories on that interview I never even knew about Clark, and
Oh yeah. Well, they got a couple too, man. They
yeah,
got a couple too that are hilarious. I mean, those two, Brian and Clark particularly, had some weird. They have the weird friendship, great friendship that that's kind of those
two
two
peas
have
in a
been on some
pod, shall we
adventures.
say? Yeah, two
Yeah, yeah,
peas
they've
in a
been on
pod.
some adventures.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. But yeah,
Did
so
you like that? Did you hear that first tune? Did you like that?
I did like that. Talk to me. What was that? They don't stay
This
long.
is this guy Connor Limer. He heard me playing with a band called Dispatch. He works with Pete Francis, who was from this band Dispatch, and he's like a fan of my playing on that record. And somehow we started talking, and then so he decided to cut one track in my studio, Mighty Toad, because I run all analog still.
Nice.
I mean, I do digital too, but if I have to. But when I produce a record, it's all tape. On the
Nice.
console, no computers. So I put my band together for him with Eric Kalb on drums, Brett Bass on bass, Ismail Bongo, Bruno on congas, and me on whirly and horns. And we did a track for him, and he loved it, and I thought it came out really well. And so we're working on a whole record. I sent the next tune he plays another track off that record. But I thought it was cool. It's like we're thinking about CTI records. We're thinking about Latin stuff.
When did you open up your recording studio, Mighty Toad?
Oh, I started. I used to have a house upstate in Pauling, and I had it in the house up there when I originally started about 25 years ago, 24 years. I don't know, something like that. But I've been in Brooklyn for 17 years in the same place in South Slope near Park Slope in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And so check it out. We've done a lot of cool stuff, and my thing is to do, if I can, it's do it all on analog.
Yeah,
It's
that's
my
pretty
vibe.
cool. Yeah, that's
So everything I'm playing is all analog, no computers, no auto tune. That's all on tape.
That's pretty unusual nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting less common.
Yeah.
It's getting less common because it's a pain sometimes. There's things you can't do, and editing and stuff is so easy in Pro Tools and all that. But I just interested in a certain way of working where we're not looking at a screen and we're feeling the analog feel. And there's technical aspects that are cool, but it's boring. But it's more about a feel, an emotional feel that you get when you're working on tape and not looking at a computer, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
And then we're really just listening. You're not looking at a screen. Something about visual information sort of trumps audio information in our brain. So it's so funny when I have the tape machine on and the computer off, nobody goes over and looks at the VU meters of the tape machine while we're playing a back track, right?
Right.
But when the Pro Tools is on, people look at the screen.
Right.
And
right.
I have the tape machine and the Pro Tools on the side of the console, to the right. You can't see, but I'm in the studio now. But nobody looks at the tape machine, but they look at the Pro Tools. Why are you looking at that? Like, I'll turn the screen off when we play stuff back. But people can't help it, including me included. It's so it's nice when the computer's off all day and making records and days kind of fly
and
by.
you're just
and
kind of
it's really
focused
super
on
fun.
music, man, and just feeling the vibe of the music, I would assume.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
I also send a shout out to my mentor Rob Fraboni. He taught me all this stuff. He's up in Hudson, New York right now, and he's getting back in the swing of things and making some records too. I was talking to him yesterday. And but he's, so always a shout out to Rob who taught me all this stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say it's pretty involved to learn all that, and you've been doing it for quite some time. So,
yeah, I'm doing all. My proudest moment is I've done all this stuff, and I've learned all this stuff, and I've never had a big hit record, but I'm still here.
You're still here. Hey, man, you're sustaining yourself. You're doing well, and you're doing what you love, right?
Yeah, things are. I haven't had a job since I was a teenager, so I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I know, but being a musician is hard work, also. And
Yeah. me and Brett Bass, we played a gig. This bass player who's on the stuff I'm playing, the first couple of tunes. We played with this guy Eric Lindell.
Yeah.
You know Eric Lindell?
Yeah, I do. I've heard that.
So,
yeah, I do.
Yeah, so we've been doing when Eric comes to the East Coast, we back him up, and me, Brett, and Eric Calv's been doing it. So we try to be Eric's backup band on the East Coast,
Nice.
And we had a gig in D.C. and we drove straight. It was a lot of traffic. It was a Friday. We drove like 5.5, 6 hours to D.C. one day. We literally get there, load the gear on the stage, play the gig, walk off, get back in the car, drive back, and on the right before the Verrazano Bridge, we blow a tire.
Oh.
and we looked at each other, and I remember I told my pop about this the next day, and I said, I tell him the story. It's 11 hours straight, 12 hours straight of work, and he said something like Minga, and I said, working for a living. And he said, music is your passion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, not really. I think I just worked for a living. I was just working for a living.
Working for a living.
That wasn't fun. Yeah, 4 a.m, changing the tire, pulling the Leslie and the bass amp out of the back of the Subaru, and changing a tire in the dark on the side of the road is not my passion.
No, no. There's anybody that has that as a passion has real issues. That's for sure. Holy crap!
We just drove up. We just played with Lindell. Something happens on Lindell gigs. I think there's multiple flats. Because we just played up in Massachusetts with him about a week ago, and it was me, John Conti on bass. This time Brett couldn't do it, and Eric Calv in the car, and it was this blizzard. All of a sudden there's a blizzard, and we got a flat, and we made the gig.
Oh my God! Was it on the way to the gig or after the gig? Was it after?
No, on the way to the gig. On the way to the gig, playing the Spire Center with that place, the Spire Center.
I don't think I do.
Plymouth.
You didn't drive back that night, did you?
I wanted to.
Oh my gosh.
Wanted to, but they all chickened out.
Yeah, you must be drinking a lot of coffee.
When I'm in 4 hours in New York, I'm a vampire. I've been alive 1,800 years. I stay up all night. It's no problem. I like to drive back. 4 hours, I'm driving back to New York if I can, if everybody's down.
Wow. Everybody else is not doing it, but you're like, yeah, man, let's do it. Awesome. I love that. So let's play another track. Let's do this Life Riddle. And yeah. You good with that?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
play it.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a listen. So you and I won't be able to talk, so just hang on, relax,
all right,
have a cup of coffee or water, and just take a listen to this. It's called Life Riddle, and we're talking with Craig Dreyer here on 91.3 WVKR.
Reflects in the window. Reflects in the window. Just look there. Life riddle passing you by. Catch your breath. Don't even try. Sneaks behind you in the middle of the night. Stares you down. Cuts the light. Life riddle. Life riddle. Hear them gone. Life riddle, reflects in the window. Reflects in the window. Just look there. Life riddle won't go away. Haunts you until your last day. Only love could be the cure. Like water keeps you so pure. left you again, like paper lost in the wind. Look so close under his skin, then it slips away, forgotten.
Yeah, 91.3 WVKR. Craig, tell us what you each just heard there.
Yeah, it's this tune "Life Riddle" by Connor Limer, and a new record I'm producing of his, and that's a fun tune.
It is a
I like
fun
it.
tune. It is a fun tune, and you, of course, you own Mighty Toad Recording Studio in Brooklyn, and all analog. Wow, pretty cool.
Yeah, all analog. Yes, you gotta play your way out of any difficulty.
Yeah, no, it's the real deal. How do people contact you if they're interested in recording or playing with you or anything?
Just go to www.mightytoad.com and you can check out the studio and call me.
Yeah.
Call me from there.
Yeah, no,
And,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but that Connor is. I mean, he's not only we came in and we've immediately become friends. I mean, sometimes you meet people and you work together, but like Connor and I, we've become real pals real fast. Like I said, he knew me through this band Dispatch, which was a pretty cool group, and so he was digging my playing, and then we were talking a lot about we were listening to like Freddie Hubbard on CTI, that era of Freddie Hubbard, and then my girlfriend Francesca, my new love, and she's from Italy, and she's been playing. She loves people like Walter Wanderley. Do you know this organ player, Walter Wanderley? Like 60s bossa nova. So she's listening to all the 60s bossa nova, and then like soundtracks, composers from the 60s, and people I never heard of, like Piero Umiliani and Piero. Oh, there's another Piero. Anyway, I can't remember the names because my Italian's not so good. So I've been listening to all the cinematic stuff and bossa from the 60s that Francesca has been playing for me, the beautiful, lovely Francesca I love and adore. And so when Connor came to me, I had so those horn arrangements are all really coming out of all the stuff that Francesca has been playing for me, making me play lists.
What does she play?
She plays guitar. She's kind of like and bass, but she's she says like kind of like 60s twangy cinematic guitar. Some of her stuff sounds like like a crime movie from the 60s,
Okay.
And then she also made a great record called by a band called Rocket Cairo, which is like 60s twangy guitar like that, but all with Turkish songs, which is really great. So she's great. And her mind, the things she listens to, which is nice to get a different perspective. It's so European, it's so Italian, and it's been it's been giving me a new enthusiasm to work on this stuff and ideas for arrangements, which I think have been coming in real handy for Connor's record.
Yeah, she live here, or
she lives with me, little old me.
Beautiful. And then so you guys have traveled back to Italy a little bit, I would assume.
Oh well, I went 3 times this year. We went to Tuscany a couple of times. It was fabulous. And we also went to Sardinia. Have you been to Sardinia?
I have not been to Sardinia, but I love Italy.
Oh, wow.
I always tell people if there's only one country that I was allowed to travel to for the rest of my life, it would be Italy.
Yeah, I mean, they got it going on there. Francesca's family has a place in Tuscany, which we go to the house. It's just it's so great.
It's
so
like
relaxing.
being in a
and
movie.
Then Sardinia, they have another place, and it's like exotic, and the food. You think the food is great, and then you go to Sardinia, and it goes up a notch. And then it's like, and then the next thing you know, I'm like, I'm trying to count. I can count to 20 in Italian now.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, Craig. And you got the little app going on, or you're just doing it like naturally, just trying to have conversation.
No, Francesca gives me little lessons. Good. She gives me lessons.
Good. And it's really fun when you start learning. And then before you know it, you actually might be able to carry on a little bit of conversation. And even more importantly, understand as other
Yeah.
people are talking. You're like, oh, wait, I think this is what they're talking about. So it's kind of cool.
It's just it's been nice.
Do you speak any other
nice.
languages?
Me, no.
No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to have. Also nice to have. Sometimes in music we get so. I took more vacation in the last 6 months since I met Francesca than I have in the last 6 years.
Beautiful. Good.
Because you got to live sometimes, and I think it helps the playing. You get so myopic of work, and you just work, and busy. Sometimes it's nice to take in, and I think it actually helps the playing and helps everything. I feel. I got to say, her perspective coming in as a European person and seeing, like, when she walked into the studio the first time to see the vintage B3, to see the real Wurlitzer, to see all this stuff, like, her eyes are popping out of her head, and to see her enthusiasm about a real Mini Moog and, a Neumann microphone from the 60s, whatever, then I sort of saw it in a new light again, too. I walk in every day and I work and I don't even think about it. And then, so to see the enthusiasm has actually renewed my enthusiasm.
I love that.
And, yeah. And this other stuff the stuff we'll play now, there's another project that I'm really enthused about, and no one's heard, so everyone's be hearing the first little teasers of the roughs. They're not even the full mixes, but I just said, let's just play some new stuff. Let's try to get some interest. It's I had this idea the idea originally started of me playing. I thought it'd be fun to make a record with my conga player, Ismail Bongo. We call him Bongo Bruno. Ismail Bongo Bruno. I thought of doing like a meditative record where we played some drones and I improvised scales, almost like Indian music, just me, Bruno, and a drone. And I was mentioning this idea driving up to an Eldorado Slim gig with Scott Gerard, who and Tony Leone. Do you know Tony too?
Of course. Tony's great. He's been on.
So we're driving to a gig somewhere, and I'm telling this idea, and they were really into the idea, and so they jumped on board, and we created a band called the Golden Fleece. We haven't played a gig; we just made this recording, and so there are these kind of spaced out, spacey instrumentals, and the whole thing is called the Golden Fleece, and the songs are inspired by aspects of the great poem from Apollonius of Rhodes. And oh, by the way, Francesca, she reads and speaks ancient Greek, and she's going to appear later on the record.
Wow.
You'll hear it on the record. She speaks some of the original poem of Apollonius of Rhodes. She recites some of the stuff from the Lemnian women part. So all the songs are inspired by these, mythic story, and so. So
really
anyway,
cool.
We got really far out.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
Which track is this going to be that we're going to play?
Was the first one called Jason? Do you have Jason?
I have Jason Ruff, and I have Jason and
Medea.
Yes.
So the first one is Jason. It's just basically a song with his. It's like Jason's theme. I think it's kind of strong and interesting, and Jason was very charismatic, and he got the people in the fleece. So hopefully, I was trying to capture. And throughout the record, I really thought the tenor represents Jason mostly, and his voice, and the flute is Medea. So the first one, will you want to play it?
Yeah, let's play it. Let's play this one.
Play it.
Jason.
So when you think, so that's what it's about. It's about Jason being charismatic, and getting the Argonauts together.
I love, by the way, this whole year, I've been featuring recording studio people here in the Hudson Valley. And so it's great that now you continue this with you, also being a recording person. So it's kind of cool. So anyway, let's take a listen to this. Jason here on 91.3 WVKR. Wow, that's really cool. Craig, that was awesome. That was really cool.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool. Craig Dreyer, Mighty Toad Recording Studio. How'd you come up with that name?
Well, when you name your recording studio under the influence, it's a toad, psychedelic,
Okay, all right, that's cool, and it kind of
Mighty
stuck.
Toad.
Mighty Toad. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah, no, very cool, very cool.
But we're small but mighty,
Yes.
And yeah, though I actually have this one toad picture that I put on the website, and I got it on the internet, and I didn't realize it was from like Associated Press, and they sued me for the use of the picture.
Come on.
I had it. Yeah, they wanted 20 G's. Actually, they asked me for, and I ended up settling for 500.
500. Oh my God, that's crazy.
They got 500. Yeah. But hey, I wanted to pay the guy. I didn't realize what it was for. I was happy to pay him a reasonable fee, but 20 G's, come on.
Yeah.
I'm just one guy, and I'm one guy in the studio.
Yeah, and there was no ill intention.
Yeah, no, we sorted it out. But that track, that's Scott Sherrard, who's on bass and guitar. We tracked it with, we just kind of, Scott's playing bass. I mean, that cool, you hear that chorusy bass.
Yeah, I didn't know he played bass.
He came up with this. Yeah, he plays. Scott is ridiculous. I mean, Scott's so good. Scott is so good and so. I mean, he's an intense guy. I mean, I love him. Can I just tell you a quick Scott story that I like to tell?
Yeah.
We were playing when he first came to New York. I forget where I heard him. I think I heard him it was at that thing, the jam with Vivino. I think that's where I heard him, right? And I got him to play my little gigs around town. And we were driving in a cab. We got in the cab after the gig and going downtown. And I told him, I said, Scott, man, let me tell you something about you. There's going to come a day when you're going to open up a guitar magazine, and it's going to be all about you with, what pedals you use and what amps you use. And there's going to be a whole interview in the paper and blah, blah, blah. And I remember he was like 21 and I was like 28, but I was like the old guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he looks at me and and he's like, no, man, what are you talking about? I said, listen, mark my words. And so when he was finally like guitar player, whatever it was,
right.
They were interviewing, I called him and I said, I told you.
Right. Exactly.
I told you. Exactly. What did I say in that cab?
I think he's one of the best live guitarists I've ever seen play.
He's crushing. I mean, he's crushing. And when we play an El Dorado Slam, I mean, first of all, everyone's crushing. Like I'm like hanging on for dear life. These guys, the soloing that happens, Scott, Kyle Kohler on organ, and Reggie Pittman. And Scott is in that band in particular. He's coming to tear it up. I mean, he's face melting. So you got to come ready to go. You got to eat some pasta the night before. You got to make sure you get some sleep.
It's your Olympics, man. It's your Olympics when you're playing with El Dorado Slim.
Yeah, that gig is. Yeah, the cats are coming to play hard. Yeah. So you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, which you guys just played not that long ago at the Falcon, but you don't play that often because, of course, Tony Leone and Scott are part of Little Feat, and they're always gigging. So it's yeah.
So they're busy. So in the spaces, Scott does the El Dorado Slam, and thank God we really have a lot of fun and playing some really cool tunes. And so so this cool side project is just an excuse to write some stuff with those guys and so we're just we sort of did these little vignettes, these little pieces based on these ideas. I was thinking about Jason. I mean, if you think about the Argonauts, what they were, just put it in modern terms. Imagine like Brad Pitt decides to go on an adventure in a boat, right? And he gets LeBron James, right? As like instead of Hercules, he gets LeBron James and all the best athletes, and then there's Orpheus. So it's like I don't know, he gets like Orpheus is on the Argo. So that's like I don't know, David Bowie or someone so charismatic. Like Orpheus could make the river run backwards with the song. So these are the people that are. Imagine a boat full of those people.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, that's why I was inspired by the story. There's a song I didn't give it to you. There's one called "The Lemnian Women" that I have. Like they show up on this island, and I mean, the women just go nuts for the Argonauts. You know what I mean? They
Right.
don't ever want them to leave.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but they're like, Jason's like, sorry, I got to be moving on. He's a ladies' man. And then eventually, he meets Medea, right? If you know the story, Medea betrays her family and her country to help Jason get the fleece, and they fall in love. So this next one, they get married and they have a night in this cave, and I kind of thought like they were in love and they love each other, but it's kind of, there's a sadness to it, and Medea's a little scared. She's just this young girl, and she's kind of leaving her family, and I imagine her looking out over the ocean, out from the cave, and the waves are coming in, and she's in love with Jason. She can't help it, but she's a little lonely, and she misses her family too, and she's wondering, oh, what have I done? And I thought that was an interesting state of mind.
That is.
And,
it is. So I think we should just
and
play that right now, because that's like a perfect lead-in. How could we not play that, Jason and Medea? Yeah. Hang on. Let's take a listen to it right here, right now. 91.3. Wow. Awesome. 91.3 WVKR, Jason and Medea. Beautiful. What are you playing on there? Flute?
Yeah, playing flute and tenor and all the keys and synths and
Man.
stuff.
How'd you learn to play keys? Just on your own or?
Well, when I was playing with this guy, Pete Francis from Dispatch, who was mentioned with the Connor. That's how the Connor Limer connection. And I played some gigs with Dispatch. I played on the last Dispatch, which was this huge concert, and then he was doing some solo shows, and the keyboard player, who's our dear friend Paul Tillotson, who unfortunately is in heaven now, couldn't do a tour because he had these gigs. He couldn't do it. So Pete's like, okay, I would noodle around in the studio, and he's like, oh, well, you can play keys on the, and he bought me a keyboard.
Wow.
And he bought me a Nord, and I went out and I bought a Leslie speaker, and I was the keyboard player starting tomorrow. You know what I mean? It was like that. This is this was like maybe, I don't know what year, early 2000s. And so all of a sudden I was just like, we're out touring around, and I had to learn, figure the bars out. And so, I have my moments, like I'm playing, like I back up people, like I think my rock organ is pretty solid. Like I'm playing with Papa Chubby on Saturday at the Bayou in Mount Vernon. So like I back up Chubby. Like I backed up Chris Bergson for years.
Oh, okay. That's maybe where else I've seen you too. Yeah, Chris, of course.
Yeah. I used to do the Falcon with Bergson.
Yeah.
And I did that for a long time. So my like rock organ playing, I think is
pretty solid.
If you don't make me if you don't make me solo too much,
Right.
Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like these. I'm no Kyle Kohler or Brian Charette or any of these guys, but I keep it in the genre, and I keep it in the pocket. I think
Right.
But I like it. I enjoy it. So, and it keeps me working too.
Yeah.
So
and trying fresh stuff, which is kind of cool. So you got this gig coming up Saturday with Papa Chubby in Mount Vernon, and you have another show coming up also, right?
Yeah, Thursday. What's today?
Wednesday.
Tomorrow we're playing. Tomorrow playing at the Bitter End with Pete Levin.
Mm-hmm.
And Pete's a great organ
Peter
player.
Levin, right? Not Pete Levin.
Peter Levin.
Peter Levin.
Peter Levin. Yeah,
yes.
I call him Pete. I can,
Right.
I mean,
because here in the Hudson Valley we have Pete Levin.
I also.
Too. So.
Right. The older.
Yeah.
We know him as Pete Levin, the older, and the younger. Pete Levin. This is Pete Levin, the younger. The guy from the Blind Boys of Alabama, and he's one of his gigs he's most known for lately in recent years. He also played with Greg Allman too, with Scott at the end, and great organ player. I also call him Levitation because he can levitate you on that organ.
I love that.
Yeah, so, Levitation. He's a great. We grew up in New York together. He went to school a few blocks from me. Amy Helm did too. He went to school with Amy Helm. They went to a school not far from me, where I went to school on the Upper West Side. So we all go way back,
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, and still in contact, which is the coolest thing, So yeah, decades later.
So that's a cool gig.
So tomorrow
but I
night,
won't be playing organ on that gig. Pete will be playing organ.
What time are you playing tomorrow at Bitter End? Because they usually
8 o'clock.
Okay, because they usually have a couple of shows, right? They do late nights and stuff, and
I think probably would be first band or early. And we usually play a nice long set, and great band: Dave Diamond, Brett Bass, Al Street on guitar.
Nice.
And yours truly on tenor.
Nice. Wow. So tomorrow night, man. If you're not in the city, get on down to the city, Bitter End, and then Saturday, Mount Vernon, with Papa Chubby, and
we're glad Papa Chubby's been having some health issues.
Is he okay?
He's been a struggle for him. It's been a tough time because his back, and he's had these operations. But I mean, this guy, he can't, the raw courage and to be out there and doing it. You got to respect. I mean, this is one of the hardest working guys I've ever known. I've known him a long time, decades.
Wow.
And and he's, and he's going through a lot of pain and difficulty to play, and you gotta really give it up for him as a trooper.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to seeing him. I haven't seen him in a little bit, so I'm just the stub on that guy. I'm not the main guy.
Are you driving to Mount Vernon? I'll wish you not to have a flat tire.
Yeah, I never get flats on Chubby's gig. Lindell, on the other hand, that's where you get the Lindell. I've had multiple flats on Lindell gig. Now they think about.
Isn't that ironic how that happens? Like what? Like what the heck? You got any shows coming up our way or anything planned yet?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I,
Nothing El Dorado on the books yet, right? Because they're so busy with Little Feat.
I think later in the summer,
Got, yep.
later in the summer.
Good.
I don't think that far ahead.
Right. Yeah. No, it's all cool.
I'm on this week.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah,
this
because we
week.
got a bunch of stuff with Pete. We're doing a record with Pete, and then we're doing a taping for Relic. So that's where my mind is at. And this then we're back in the studio with Connor again, and so I think there's a lot of studio stuff, and then I got to mix all the Golden Fleece stuff. So that's where my head is at. And,
you're a busy guy, Craig Dreyer. You're a busy guy.
Well, you got to, I mean,
yeah,
you got to,
got to keep
and I
the
like
wheels turning.
I like, my favorite thing is to be in New York and have to go. What's great about this area is that if you get busy here, you go from, like I was working on today. I had these Hasidic guys came in with the choir.
Wow.
From Crown Heights, and I recorded these children, so we were tweaking the mixes on a thing like. So I'll go from working on mixes like that, and I'm recording vocals for my friend Scott, and for my friend John O'Manson, who's got a big studio out in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So like, and then tomorrow, Pete Levin, you go from all these wildly different experiences day after day. It's different people. Everyone's great. It's culture shock, to go from Yiddish music to this kind of like theater influenced music, which we're doing later, to funk with Pete Levin tomorrow. And then it just, that to me is what makes New York so great, and
it's the diversity, man. It's the diversity, right? Yeah. And it's always something fresh. Yeah.
We're cracking up, me and Yitzhak, talking about stuff today, and then going, it's the culture shock of it all. I mean, so funny. I love this painter, Gustave Moreau, and I have on my screensaver in my office in the studio. There's a picture, but it's kind of. I love myths too. That's why the Golden Fleece. But there's a picture of this woman. I forget the myth, but she's kind of semi-nude, and then all these Hasidic kids were in the thing, and they were all laughing and stuff because they were waiting to do their vocals, waiting in the office, and then I realized, this picture was a big deal for them. I was like. It's like, oh, sorry. So I was apologizing to Itzhak today. I'm sorry, I didn't realize there was like, Gustav and Rose. The paint. It's nothing racy in our terms, but they never seen anything like that.
Right. Right. It's all new to
painted
them.
From the 1880s. It's like they're like laughing and pointing at it. It's like Itzhak, I'm so sorry. I should have. I didn't know the screensaver would be. He's like, all right, don't worry. They already have. Sometimes they have to see things. He said.
I love it. Oh my God.
I mean, the culture shock is so funny and great.
Right. Well, listen, you keep enjoying, man. You got some good stuff going on, and thank you for sending me all this music, and especially the stuff that's unreleased. All the people I've had on that have recording studios, they've all sent me some unreleased stuff. So it's been pretty cool listening to some new music that the ears haven't heard yet. So
you want to play some stuff you're working on. I don't really go backwards. Like, I don't listen to records I made. Once I make them and stuff, I'm always just
looking forward to the next one.
You got to look forward. Yeah. What are we doing right now? Some people want to talk about. I mean, and I understand that people are interested in these things, but I'm not. I'm interested in what we're doing now, what's happening right now, and and
nice.
like the power of now.
Yeah. And there's definitely something to be said about that. So it's really cool. But listen, I just want to say thank you for your time, and you're playing tomorrow night. We're talking with Craig Dreyer, Mighty Toad Recording Studio. Check out mightytoad.com on the internet.
Are you gonna play the one more
I
tune?
am gonna play the thing, but I got to do my legal ID, and then I'm gonna play that. But I'm gonna say goodbye now. But I am gonna play the track. But tell us about the Clashing
Rocks.
Rocks.
The Clashing. Right. Yeah, it's called the Clashing Rock. So imagine the ship going through these giant rocks, and they have to sail the ship through the rocks. So it's an adventure song. That's all I want to say.
Oh, I love it. And Craig, thank you so
Thanks.
much, like, for your time here and all of this. And
Anytime.
yeah, no, it's awesome.
Anytime.
And awesome. And keep sending
Great
me
talking to
music.
you.
I would love to, like, play your music. So just send it my
Cool.
way.
When I finish the Golden Fleece, I'll send you the whole record.
Absolutely. I would love that. And I look forward to catching up with you sometime in person. And yeah, man. And thanks
Great.
for making the world a brighter place with your music. You're awesome. Thank you.
Happy to contribute in a small way.
Hey,
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Craig. Take care.
Bye.
91. Yeah. So you are tuned into 91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. It is 5:01 p.m. and it's Wednesday. I'm your host, Rita Ryan, here with LocalMotion on 91.3 WVKR. And we're bringing you music and the arts here in the Hudson Valley. I just finished a conversation with Craig Dreyer. Heck of a musician, tenor, baritone, saxophone, flute, Hammond B3, keys, vocals. He's producer, owner, operator of Mighty Toad Recording Studio down in Brooklyn. He comes up here and plays the Falcon every once in a while. If you ever get the chance to go check out Craig Dreyer, do yourselves a favor. Run, don't walk. Tomorrow night, if you're down in Manhattan, the Bitter End, you can catch Craig Dreyer playing tomorrow night at the Bitter End, and then again with Papa Chubby in Mount Vernon, New Jersey on Saturday. But now let's play the final track that he sent me, and this one is called Clashing Rocks, right here on 91.3 WVKR. .3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. The Clashing Rocks, so cool. And a lot of these tracks, a few of these 5 tracks that we've heard over the past hour, unreleased. And thanks again to Craig Dreyer for being my guest today and for sending some really cool music our way. Again, mightytoad.com recording studio, and also Craig Dreyer. Check him out at Bitter End Thursday night, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. in New York City, and then in Mount Vernon on Saturday with Papa Chubby, legendary Papa Chubby. So what we do here each and every hour where we don't have a guest, we start by paying tribute to Tony Falco from the Falcon in Marlborough. He had a couple of really cool playlists, and I play a track from his playlist in the order that he uploaded it. So this is a pretty cool track. Many of you will recognize it. And yeah, let's take a listen. 91.3.
I remember my mother's sister's husband's brother working in the gold mine full time, filling in for sunshine, filing into tight lines, ordinary beehives. The door screams, I hate you, hanging around my blue jeans. Why is there no breeze, no currency of leaves, no current through the water wide, no feelings I can't see. I trust no emotion, I believe in locomotion, but I've turned to rust as we've discussed, though I must have let you down too many times in the dirt and the dust. Shadows tracing bones, our faces stitched and sewing, our houses hemmed into homes, trying to be thankful, our stories fit into phones, and our voices live so easily, a gift given accidentally, when we're not sure we're not alone.
91.3 WVKR Independent Radio Poughkeepsie. We have a little technical snafu. Bear with me while I try something different, and we'll get some music going for you guys here. And it's live radio. So thanks for sticking in there with us. And, these things happen. It is live. So there's no edits ever here. So this is, as you hear it, is how it happens. So let's take a listen here and see if this one works. 91.3.
She don't write, she don't call, hell, she don't do much at all. She don't seem like she used to be. She never says that she loves me. Looks at me like I'm a fool, always saying I'm treating her cool. She don't love me like she one time did before. And I ask to hold her and she asks her for. She don't laugh with me anymore. She don't love me like she one time did before. The silence in the room where the laughter once flew. The silence in place of the words I love you. And even when she's close, she's so far away, and I can't find the right words to say. Ain't like she's with me, she's just there like dust sitting across the chair. She don't love me like she one time did before. And I asked, hold her, and she asks her for her. But she don't laugh at me anymore. Cause she don't love me like she one time did before. The days just seem to roll by like they forgot about her and I. Nothing as lonesome as her eyes. Only a matter of time before she'll realize that she don't love me like she one time did before. She don't love me like she one time did before. She don't love me like she one time did before. She don't love me like she one time did before.
91.3 WVKR. That was last week's guest, Dylan Doyle, the new EP titled Love Letters. We just heard the track She Don't Love Me. Dylan will be playing Friday night at the Falcon in Marlborough. Don't need tickets to go, just make a reservation at liveatthefalcon.com. Dylan Doyle and his band will be there Friday night. And if you missed my conversation with Dylan, it was fun. Last week, we uploaded it on Spotify and YouTube under LocalMotion on 91.3 WVKR. Started this hour off with a track from Tony Falco's playlist by Wilco, You Are My Face, the 2007 classic Wilco album, Sky Blue Sky. I love that song. That was on Tony's playlist. And that's how we start off each and every hour here, where we don't have a guest, by paying tribute to Tony. So that was a good choice. And it's cool. This next gentleman, we talked about during the interview with Craig Dreyer today, Scott Sherrard. This is a solo release. Rust Belt is the track of it. Scott has a couple of shows coming up, so let's play a track from Scott Sherrard right here, right now on 91.3.
tear us asunder. You're a cool ocean, calm and blue. When I'm terrified, fear's pulling me under. You put out a hand and come to my rescue. I've got gratitude for everything that you do. Gratitude, your love can always soothe. Whether we win, whether we lose. Gratitude, 'cause you see me through. When pride, sickness tempts my heart, and I'm reaching out to help me turn the page, I know that you will play your part. Shine a light on my darkest day. So lift this veil of sadness with your sweet laughter. Take this man into your homebound arms. Now I know fear is not my master. Its mind can ravage, but it's done no harm. I've got gratitude for everything that you do. Gratitude, your love can always soothe. Whether we win, whether we lose. Gratitude, 'cause you see me through. In a land that seems cursed in timeless worry, we all need a sanctuary somewhere true. Thank the Lord for your patience and the hope that you've given. Every day I want to thank you. I've got gratitude for everything that you do. Gratitude, your love can always soothe. Whether we win, whether we lose.
91.3 WVKR. Knox Chandler. We just heard The Sound is the name of the album, and we heard 3 Days After. Knox was my guest here sometime last year. Don't remember exactly when, but I met him at the local in Saugerties and just was blown away by his talent. He's played with the Psychedelic Furs, whole bunch of great people, very unique cellist. And this album, The Sound, when he released this last year, he came in, we talked about it, and Knox is performing Friday night at Greenkill Sessions in Kingston. 229 Greenkill Avenue in Kingston. Frederick Balducci and Knox Chandler this Friday, the 20th at 8 p.m., part of the Greenkill Sessions. Check it out. It's online. They only allow like 30 people in. That's all that it has room for. But they also do live streaming. So if you don't want to head out, but you want to see some unique and diverse music, check out Greenkill. And again, Greenkill in Kingston. Knox Chandler and Federico Balducci Friday night. We also heard Scott Gerard, the album titled Rust Belt, the track Gratitude. And Scott is part of quite a few different bands. We just spoke with Craig Dreyer during the 4 o'clock hour, and he works with Scott as part of Eldorado Slim, one of Scott Gerard's band. Scott also is in a band called CKS, which is Chalanti, Katz, and Gerard Band. It's a roots rock show, and it's with Randy Chalanti on drums, Bruce Katz on keys, and Scott Gerard, of course, on guitar. And they're bringing their act to the Falcon this Saturday night at February 21st. The Falcon in Marlborough. Check out liveatthefalcon.com. It's going to be a fantastic show. They always close to sell out or sell out if they haven't already. Check it out. Liveatthefalcon.com for CKS Band Saturday night. Scott Gerard is also part of Little Feat along with Tony Leone, and also was part with Greg Allman for many, many years. He was the music director for Greg Allman. So, yeah, check out Scott Gerard if you're not familiar with him. Truly one of the best living guitarists I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen a bit of music. Scott Gerard kills it. I was sent a CD by the band, The Acoustic Medicine Show, and new CD comes out, and it's called The Best of the Acoustic Medicine Show. Unfortunately, I have 3 CD players here in the studio, and this CD does not work in any one of them. So I am afraid something's up with the CD. So Joe Tobin, if you're listening, please send another one, because I can't play your music on this unfortunate CD that you sent me. I would have loved to have played it, but congratulations on a release, the Acoustic Medicine Show. So hopefully I'll get a copy of it and we'll be able to play that at some point. Let's keep the music flowing right now, because, it is Mardi Gras time. It was Mardi Gras last night, Fat Tuesday, of course. I know some of you were out there celebrating. We've got some more music happening in the New Orleans Mardi Gras fashion, happening on Sunday in Beacon with C.J. Chenier and the Red Hot Louisiana Band. So let's take a listen to them right here now on 91.3.
Hey
since I could say I don't wanna feel that way. When I was young, I saw the world in the colors of blue. I spent a long time moving out of my mind, now I'm stuck into the womb. All I need to be worthy of living in fear. Like a long lost child coming into my eyes, long never reappear. Running right into it. And I don't know why I was running that day. Maybe I was afraid of feeling that way. Running right into it. And I've been on the run ever since I was young, ever since I could say I don't wanna feel that way. Does anyone else see if you ever committed a crime? Bleeding on the line too many times, was dying of a vine. Over the hill, I'm losing the static on the radio. Took a long drive last Saturday night with no particular place to go. Breaking the mirror like a habit, like the one alone. As the days go by, turning into a life, seeing pictures upon the wall. As the days go by, and the news never know, do we get along with it all? Thinking all that, look at our lives in terms of the number of days to go. It's like I need myself, my time, I'm running out, right into it. And I don't know why I was running that day. Maybe I was afraid of feeling that way. Right into it. And I've been on the run ever since I was young, ever since I could say I don't wanna feel that way.
91.3 WVKR, the Bar Brothers. That's Brad and Andrew, the Bar Brothers, a group out of Montreal, Canada. And they are going to be performing Saturday night in Woodstock at Bearsville Theater. We just heard the track Run Right Into It. And they're going to be joined by Land of Lost. Land of Talk. Oh, my God. What am I thinking of? Land of Talk is their special guest Saturday night at Bearsville Theater. If tickets are available, you can do so at bearsvilletheater.com. Check out the Bar Brothers and the great lineup happening at Bearsville Theater. We also heard C.J. Chenier and the Red Hot Louisiana Band, Don't You Just Know It, and the album The Big Squeeze, of course, out of New Orleans. And they're going to bring some of that New Orleans flair right to Beacon Sunday night. Town Crier in Beacon. For tickets and information, towncrier.com. And that'll be town spelled with an E, crier.com for a Sunday night show. And this wonderful performer was on the show here, I think, last fall. And she's going to be playing tomorrow in Croton-on-Hudson. What a voice, what an album. Let's take a listen to the one and only Jenna Nichols here on 91.3.
The world is asleep. It's just you and me and the moon tonight. The stars are aligned. It's a heavenly sign that the moment's right. Here we are, each alone, with no one to dance with. maybe I could be the one you find romance with. I try to speak, I'm weak in the knees, and my words won't spark. You take my hand, I fall into your arms. I dreamed of this last night. Two wandering hearts unite. It's just you and me, and the moon tonight. I try to speak, I'm weak in the knees, and my words won't spark. You take my hand, I fall into your arms. I dreamed of this last night. Two wandering hearts unite. It's just you and me, and the moon tonight. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy with your glass half empty. Even though you got your share, I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy with your glass half empty. Even though you got your share. Kevin, you remind me not the eyes, don't drop the names of those who've come before.
91.3 WVKR, Jonathan Brooke, Glass Half Empty from the Sweetwater Sessions. And she's going to be playing in Kingston at the Assembly Kingston. Check out theassemblykingston.com for tickets and information. Jonathan Brooke, singer, songwriter. She was also on Broadway, the off-Broadway musical My Mother Has Four Noses, a critically acclaimed performance that she had there. And she's also co-written, co-produced songs with Katy Perry, Jessica Simpson. She's written for Disney films, produced television shows, composed and performed theme songs, and she teaches in person and online master classes in songwriting and recording. And she's released a whole bunch of CDs. And she's bringing her music to Kingston on February 27th. That is Jonathan Brooke. We also heard Jenna Nichols, who's bringing her music to Croton-on-Hudson tomorrow at the Grand. And her new album, Jenna Nichols' new album, is called The Commuter. If you haven't heard of her or familiar with it, it's really a phenomenal album. Highly recommend just downloading it or whatever you do to buy music. Check it out. Jenna Nichols, and that's Nichols with 2 L's. And she's playing tomorrow, February 19th, Croton-on-Hudson at a venue called The Grand. We heard the track called You, Me, and the Moon off her album, The Commuter. She was also here on the show last fall. Super fun having her on, and she's quite a talent, as you can hear by that beautiful song that we heard. So we're nearing the end of the show here, so it's time for musical happenings. And this is what we do towards the end of the show in the hopes that you go out and support live music and some of our amazing, amazing local world-class venues that we're lucky enough to have right here in the Hudson Valley. So let's start up in Kingston at the Assembly. Tickets and info, assemblykingston.com. February 19, Tusk. Tribute to Fleetwood Mac. February 27, Jonathan Brooke. At the Bardavon and UPAC, tickets and info, bardavon.org. March 3, Cat Power. Bearsville Theater in Woodstock, also bearsvilletheater.com. February 19, J.C. Hopkins. February 20, North Mississippi All-Stars. February 21, the Barr Brothers. Colony in Woodstock and at colonywoodstock.com. Tonight, Brad Cole and Bossa Blue. Thursday, Punk. Friday, Florist. Sunday, Honky Tonk with the Hudson Valley Flyers. And every Monday is an open mic at Colony. Howland Chamber Music Series at Howland Cultural Center in Beacon, and tickets at howlandmusic.com. March 8th is the Horzowski Trio. The Falcon in Marlborough and live at thefalcon.com. Tonight at the Falcon Underground, the Hudson Valley Jazz Jam. Thursday, the Tom Pretties. Friday, Dylan Doyle Band. Saturday, CKS with Scott Sherrard, Randy Shalanti, and Bruce Katz. And Sunday, James Francie's Trio. Jazz Forum in Tarrytown and at jazzforumarts.org. February 20 and 21, Stella Cole. Levon Helm Studios in Woodstock and at levonhelm.com. February 20, Tyler Ramsey and Carl Brommel of My Morning Jacket. February 21, Midnight Ramble with Crystal Warren and the Faculty. The Local in Saugerties. Info and tickets at thelocalsaugerties.com. February 20, Alyssa Pie. February 21, In Sun Park and Generals. The Stissing Center in Pine Plains and thestissingcenter.org. February 20, Palestinian master musician Zafir Tawil and Rabbi Zaki Asher. February 21, Deadgrass. Tarrytown Music Hall in Tarrytown and at